Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Tuan channel. Today, I have a special guest for the interview is Nate Robertson. He is a House Representative for Florida in District 40. Hello, Nate. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me on today, Tuan.
Can you introduce a little bit yourself?
Absolutely. Yeah, again, my name is Nate Robertson. I'm running for Florida House District 40, and that covers Orange County in the areas of Ocoee, Pine Hills, Lockhart, Rosemont, and College Park. Kind of uses West Colonial, so 50 as the southern border and stretches to I-4. My wife, Kristen, and I have two boys. We live in Ocoee. And, I'm really concerned about our community, really passionate about seeing that there is true representation in the community to make sure that people have the opportunities that they need to be able to see economic prosperity, see strong education, see strong businesses.
Can you tell me what made you want to run?
Yeah, absolutely. Really the reason that I wanted to run is I moved into the community and I began looking around at what representation had been in the community, what had been happening, had there been a lot of attention in the local community, and how was the community being serviced. And as I began to look around, I actually noticed that there had not been a whole lot of representation. There'd been no opposition to the Democratic candidates in a long time. No one had really challenged the ideas or made sure that they were representing people well. And as I began to look around, I just felt like there needed to at least be an opportunity for people to have discussions about the issues that matter to them and how representation in the state house was helping their community.
It has been a long time that we don't have a candidate running that's in your district 40, and I think it's time for to flip it.
Yeah.
And then what you're doing is a great thing for our country, for our state
Thank you.
as well. So it's very impressed when I met you and who you are and how you present, and that's a very. I think people will have to be reconsidered. It doesn't matter what party they're in.
That's
They have
right.
to reconsider what that person bring to the table, how they're going to change, because if the person in office for a while and then they don't have anything improve or change, it should be out.
That's right.
It should be out, and then they have to see another person, give another person a chance, an opportunity to make improve in our country, because we are turning in the wrong direction.
That's right.
And that's include education in the community.
Right.
No innovation.
That's
So,
right.
can you tell me a little bit more like your specialty, background, expert, and thing like that?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So again, I think that everything you were saying is so right. We need to make sure that there is strong representation in the community, and if things aren't changing, we need to reconsider what direction we're going in. When I think about like what my specialty and where I come from and what really is important to know about me is I've been really involved in strategic business development for several years with a large company, working with customers to make sure that their needs are met and that we have strong relationships to make their needs known. I also do a lot of work in the pro-life community, making sure that people have informed consent before they are making decisions about their pregnancies. And so I really feel like it's really important that we focus on the reality that we need to make sure that in the communities there are strong options available. There's strong options for people to be making informed decisions for themselves and for their family when it comes to medical decisions and really all decisions. People should have as much information as possible to make informed decisions. When it comes to education, education's got to be strong, and people have got to have options available to them in their local community that they feel empower them to make sure that their children are educated in the best possible way. And as we look around this community, what is now called District 40, the community has had very little movement forward. I talked to a young man this weekend who is a lifelong Democrat. He's worked on Democrat campaigns, and he said out of his own words that for at least the last 6 years in the community of Pine Hills that he lives in, nothing has gotten better. Things have just gotten worse. So if that is what is happening, and if people can look around and take inventory of their local community and see that things are not going in the right direction, there needs to be a change. There needs to be a strategic focus change to make sure that we can get the needs of the people addressed. And that's what I feel like I bring.
I grew up in Pine Hill as
Right.
well, so I know the area and I know what the people 20 years ago, how
Sure.
they changes in now, and it's a lot in Pine Hill area and the Ocoee area. It's called Ocoee is your area too, right?
Right,
Yeah.
yes.
So Ocoee, Pine Hill, that area. I mean, especially Pine Hill and Silver Star.
Right.
Isn't it a lot of improve and change and and education and pupil and job
Right.
as well because there's a lot of thing going on and when I grow up in the area I know where is the neighborhoods need to be pay attention,
Sure.
the area need to be focused on, how we support the community and the church to have all the improvement and all the change. So what you focus in is extremely benefit for the area because of education and health. And that area is need to be focused on education, health, and work for and job because I grow up in the area, so I know what they thinking because I used to be one of them. And I'm still have friend and family and live there and work there, and it's very heavily in Democrat mindset,
Right.
and it's not motivated.
Right.
People want to have a future. People want to move forward, move up. But if you don't have a goal to set for yourself, and you don't have a motivative, you cannot do anything.
That's right.
So I hope that when you win the election, let's consider if you win.
That's right.
And if you win, I think it's an awesome thing for the community. And I want that to be happen because you have a lot of energy. And you say how many? I'm sorry if I don't catch it. How many kids that you have?
Yeah, so right now we have two children. We have a 13-year-old and I have an almost 2-year-old. So we have a big gap, but we're really blessed to have both of them and they keep us really busy. And honestly, I do all of this for their future, right? We should all be focusing on that we do this for our children. We fight for freedom, we fight for education, we fight for business development. We fight for all of that so that our children can have a better future and so that our children don't grow up and go, Dad, Mom, what happened? Why didn't you fight for us to be free? Why didn't you fight for us to have the opportunity we needed so that we could have economic empowerment? Those are the questions that we should all be asking ourselves. And what are our children going to say in 20 years? How are we fighting today to make sure that their future is secure?
So back to your where you live before. So have you been like how many state or
Sure.
city that you live in?
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually grew up in Western New York, so just outside of Buffalo, New York. I went to college in Western Tennessee. Then I lived in Alabama for a year, South Carolina for about 5 years, and that's where my wife and I met and married and had our first son. And then we lived in Kentucky for a total of 7 years before moving to Florida 6 years ago. And for the first 4 years that we lived in Florida, we lived more close to Disney. And now we've lived up towards the Ocoee area and in Ocoee for about 2.5 years.
That is a great thing for Pine Hill area for a new representative like you, because you expose to the different place, and you go into you go and bring the culture from a different area into Pine Hill. That is a great thing. I mean, Pine Hill include Ocoee. I mean, I don't want to say the same thing, but it's kind of in the area. So a lot of people in that area, they have very narrow mind. They have very narrow mindset. So they don't want get out of the outside and see what the word or what the real word is. Maybe they don't have an opportunity. Maybe they don't want to, or they keep themselves like close up. But that's not how you want to change the community. You wanna see have a different vision to your thought, different vision, bring to the community. And then I think it's perfect for Pine Hill because it's time to innovation, creation, and motivation, and all that exposed to different environment experience that you had, because you come from a urban area, you come from a countryside, you come from, you name it, and then you have family, kid, all that stuff, and now you want to run and do something for a country. That's a great thing. I think if people who live in your district, they should vote for you to see the change it's gonna make. And on top of that, if even people who don't live in your area, they can support you by donation or volunteer or thing like that, because it will affect your neighbor district.
That's right.
And it's when it affect your neighbor district, it will affect the state and our nation as well. So that's why I think it's very benefit and very positive for the district that you run in. And now I have other question for you.
Sure.
That's okay. So if you come to the community, if you've been selected, 'cause I say selected because I know people who they know who they're going to choose already.
Sure.
If they want to change their life, they know who they're going to choose. So if you've been selected, what is the first thing that you want to do for your area, your district?
Yeah, great. Thank you for the question. It's a great question. The very first thing that I want to do and that I want to focus on is making sure that there are millions of dollars, like tens of millions of dollars, set aside in the state budget to focus on educational options in the Pine Hill area throughout the district. In this district, there has not been a focus on new, innovative educational options so that parents have the choices to make the best decision for them and their children. One of the things that I've talked to people about is the reality that the Step Up for Students program provides the ability for them to use taxpayer funding to send their children to a school of their choice. But then I ask them the question, do you have reliable transportation to get your child to a school of your choice? A lot of times the answer to that question is no, or I'm not sure. So we need to focus on making sure that there are expanded educational options in the local community so that parents have a choice of where to send their children to school. We know that competition makes all of us better, right? There needs to be competition in education. Competition will make the public schools stronger and make them have to be more innovative, and it will also give parents the options of new private education, charter education, magnet education in their local community to make sure that they're strong. So my first bill in Tallahassee will be for $50 million to be set aside in the state budget to make sure that we are focusing on helping to establish new, high-quality educational options in my district.
Well, see, that's very strong thought for your community,
That's
and
right.
is that's how you how you deliver to the voter. Now, one more question. Tell me what you will do better than the person in the office in the position right now, and why you will do better.
Sure, absolutely. The number one reason that I know that I will be able to do a better job and have more effect is because in this area, and what we understand about the way the state of Florida is set up, is that whether we like the system or not, the way the system is set up is that the party that has the majority in Tallahassee has the majority of the power and has the majority of the funding available to them. Because I'll be a part of the majority party, I will have the opportunity to get initiatives passed on the floor of the Florida House and make sure that there is money coming back to our area. If you look over the last 10 years at the voting record of our current representative and the previous representative, the voting record is over 80% that their votes have been no. No for their community, no for moving initiatives forward. I know that I can be a yes vote for our community. I can move initiatives forward. I can make sure that money is coming back to our district to focus on education, to focus on business development. And I will continue to secure personal freedom for every single person in my district as a part of the state of Florida. It's really important that we focus on those aspects. And I haven't mentioned it yet, but you can check out all of this on my website at votenaterobertson.com. So make sure that you check that out and check out all the information I have there.
Well, that's good that you mentioned your website. Now, can you repeat your website again?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
okay, and then how do you need a volunteer? Do you
Absolutely.
need
Always, right?
where can they find your donation button?
Yeah, that's
So they
right.
can donate. If they can volunteer their time so they can donate.
That's
So
right.
three things that we need, like volunteer, donation, and voter.
That's right.
So
All three of them.
all the voter, if they
Yeah.
cannot come to vote for that whatever reason, and they can donate.
That's right.
And it's required people have a green card
Right.
to donate, and a U.S. citizen, and then donation. If you cannot volunteer, if you has whatever reason
Right.
that you're not in that district,
That's
but
right.
you live in the district, I don't know, however it work it, even outside of the district, but you have
Right.
a property there, your business there,
That's
you
right.
can they can donate for you.
Yeah,
That's very
absolutely.
important. So can you?
Yeah, it is really important. So again, the website is votenaterobertson.com, and you can look at all of the information that I have there. You can donate right there on that website. We do need volunteers for in the district to walk and knock on doors, to talk to people, to hand out material at different events and door to door. We need volunteers to help us when we're ready to start putting out yard signs. We need volunteers to be helping us with making phone calls. We need volunteers to do a bunch of different things, some of which you can do from right there in your house. So I'd love to have you connect with us. You can submit a contact form at votenaterobertson.com to connect directly with us. You can donate right there on the website. The donation limits in the state of Florida for the state rep race is $1,000 per individual or business through the primary date, and then $1,000 again is the limit until 5 days before the general election. We need financing. We need funds. We are working on funds for our large signs as well as for campaign logistics and other marketing projects. And we could use any donation that you can make today, and even a recurring monthly donation. So if you aren't able to be a voter in the district, you can definitely volunteer and definitely donate. So we'd love to have you connect with us at votenaterobertson.com. You can also go to Facebook and Instagram to connect with us at the same handle, Vote Nate Robertson.
Great. So if you are live in the area, like what I say, or not in the area, if you are in the area, please support Nate Robertson, so he can win this election. He can change the community, because I grew up in Pine Hill, so I know what needs to be done. And if I'm honored to be selected, I will work with Nate to make sure the community is better. I'm run for the Congress, and Nate is run for U.S. Congress, and Nate run for Florida House Representative. Then if together we will make it better for community, we will make it stronger, and we will improve and innovate the people in the area. So please support Nate, and your volunteer time, your vote, your whatever you can. I mean, at a candidate, we need everything. Same as Nate. And Nate, do you have any coming up event?
Yeah, so we do. So I have an event coming up this coming Wednesday on April 27th. If you'll contact us, I can give you all the details. It's in the evening, 6 o'clock. We'll be having more events in May and throughout. I will also be at an event this coming Sunday that is a medical freedom event in Orlando, and that's Sunday all afternoon and evening. Love to connect with you at any of the upcoming events.
All right. All right. Thank you very much, Nate. Thank you for being in here,
Yeah,
and thank
yeah.
you everyone is watching Tuan Lee channel. And I hope you are successful
Thank you so
race
much.
this term,
That's
and
right.
and then do some big change for community.
That's
Thank
right.
you.